going on? Legion of Rudy here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP Grind, episode 137. So what I want to focus on today is collecting dwellberries. And last time we were focusing on collecting a lot of other different things related to cooking. We've got some bad guys over here, we've got to be careful. Let's see. What I'd actually like to do is find some areas where I can add lodestones. This is actually a really good one. So I might actually want to move my lodestone closer to all those dwellberries. We've got this archer after us, and now we're going to have a berserker after us. So we're doing quite well. We're creating enemies, and we're basically creating problems for ourselves. But I don't really want to use attack again, so let's go ahead and switch back to our crossbow, because we got to sort of try to find a way to... and also, if you're wondering... The reason that lodestone was there is back when we were doing mining, we were really trying to heavily focus on basically trying to be as close to these ores as possible. This guy right here, we could probably move, and just trying to make a couple adjustments. This was here because obviously this is right where Velgar is, right? So that really makes sense where that's at. But let's go ahead and put it here. As obviously the fractured plains is a little bit of a difficult area for us because we've actually built so many different things, which I've talked about quite a bit, and it makes it really difficult to basically do simple things because the game takes such a long time to load in. And there we go, what a nice block. But I thought about sort of carrying some lodestones and then adding more, but they're really heavy, so it makes it a little bit tricky in the way of basically having to choose what I'm going to have in my inventory. But going back, yeah, so we want to add all these lodestones because basically there's dwellberries everywhere. And rather than have to hunt them down and run all around, it makes a lot more sense to just make lodestones to make them more accessible. That makes the most sense. So that's something I'd like to spend a little bit of time doing. Just sort of moving lodestones to make everything more accessible. Like you could see here why that's there. It was by the ore. Let's go ahead and see if we can't find somewhere better to put that. That's going to be a lot more beneficial for us. Let's see what we can do with it really quick here. Where might I be able to put this that it's going to be more beneficial? I think like right here is actually amazing. Look at all these different... We got another abyssal demon out here too. That's crazy. I think that's about where he spawns now. And he's not always been there, which is kind of interesting. There's a big valley out there. This is such a good place if you're looking to get cooking materials. So that's sort of why we decided to put our lodestone here. And you've got all these dwellberries everywhere. So lots of different reasons why it's beneficial to have that lodestone there. But let's go ahead and fight this abyssal demon really quick. And hopefully he doesn't aggro anything else on his way over. But... let's see if we can kill him with range, because obviously that's where we really want to have more XP. He should fall to his knees right after that, after I get smacked in the face. But I don't think I'm in a position to actually finish this guy off with that. I think we need to switch to our whip, otherwise we're going to end up dead. So it's a little tricky with range fighting this guy. Yeah, we're going to end up dead. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen here. And he got me. So, oh, I think I got him at the same time too. So we're both dead. So it sort of works out. But basically, I don't know. I like to kill him. He's fun. Let's see. So, where's our body? There it is. So, let's put out our bow again. And let's see what other lodestones we potentially could move around. This one's in a house we built. Let's see. This one is really... I mean, there's some bark over here. We don't want to move around too much. Otherwise, we're going to have a load-in problem. So the animal bark. If you missed one of my other episodes, basically, I'm pretty sure that to make... ooh. That's quite nice. But it attracted another one. But yeah, so we're trying to think in our head, and I know they're going to be adding split bark armor to the game, so I think where that's really going to come in is basically anima-infused bark, right? That makes a lot of sense to me that it would be used to actually make the split bark armor, but I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely something that I'm going to be sort of stockpiling a little bit, as I think it potentially could be useful. It's already useful, right? But I think there's going to be more things that we can use it for as time goes on. So there's also that out there, right? And that's actually already got a lodestone. Um, let's get back to what we were doing. There's a bunch of onions. I might want to move this one closer to here, and then I could sort of stockpile on this anima infused bark, which I mean, I'm not sure, but it easily could be used for split bark armor, unless they've got a different route they're going to go. But like I talked about before, I don't really think there's a lot of reason to really have um in infused. I mean, I think you use it to build gear, right? But ultimately, I don't think it's super essential, and so making split bark armor with it could actually change quite a bit. And I don't remember if in the very beginning this gray area was this wide. I wonder if they're slowly adding pieces to the game um, over the course of time, so that way, basically the game will basically be ready to go rather than doing it all in one go. It'll like slowly give us the updates, which will make it easier for them when they come out with it for Fell Hollow. But I'm not sure. This is our Colosseum, which is an amazing project. I don't see. Did we not? No, there we go. It just loaded in. So crazy. The Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum. Did I call it the Oakland Colosseum? I might have accidentally by mistake. And if that's the case, that's crazy that I would make such a big mistake and call it something entirely different than it actually is. And I think we might have to teleport back to our base because it's sort of glitched now. Because, well, basically, once you go somewhere where there's so much stuff that you've created, it does not make it easy for the transition to come back to an area. And then you see there where it now wants to work. So let's see if we can get some more dwarberries. And I wish there were more onions out here, but maybe it doesn't make sense due to the area, how it's always raining and such like that with the lightning. I don't know why there's not more onions out here. It definitely goes with the area. So it's a little interesting. And we've got a berserker over there. I'm very certain we were far enough away that we didn't actually aggro him, but you really never know. And we did. That's crazy. We were so far. It doesn't even make any sense that we were aggroed that guy. But no trouble. We've got him. Okay. So, did we get these dwarberries or did he sort of get in the way? He did. Okay. So, let's go this way. What is that? That's the throne. Very powerful. And he is going to get aggroed, I imagine, right? Yes. And he's going to run at us, but we're probably going to be able to teleport and dime, I really hope. And let's go ahead and collect the rest of these strawberries. And it's nighttime, right? So that's why all of a sudden everything suddenly feels more dangerous, which is why I don't like to be out here at night. Talked about it so many times. It's not fun. It's incredibly dangerous. So we try not to spend too much time out here when it's dark. It's just a lot more dangerous than I'd like things to be. Oh, we got some more dwarberries. And more dwarberries. So it really doesn't take that long to collect all these dwarberries. It's just it's a little time consuming, but it could be a lot worse. But really not that bad overall. I'm just trying to go to areas where I know there's going to be lots of dwarberries, and I think there's a little bit more here. Smacked by lightning. Let's see. Really getting hard to see. I thought, yeah, here we go. This is where you want to go. There's going to be a bunch more. Let's go collect them all. There we go. Looks like we already grabbed those. Sort of feels weird to go out there and not really mess with sheep and ram. All right. So let's go ahead and put the food away that we got. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Put the abyssal demon stuff away in here. And then we've got all of our random junk that we've sort of collected right here. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on. I don't know why I didn't put the feathers away. Interesting. Okay, so let's pop a cooking potion. Let's go ahead and pop food and water. That way my wild pie will be active. It doesn't even look like the cooking potion popped before I left it there. So, okay. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of cooking. Not the important stuff, though. That's going to be really important when making drinks. Let's just do the meats and things like that. Leave all that stuff. That's going to be for drinks. Because obviously I've been working really hard to collect that stuff so I can use all my clean water, which actually gives such crazy good XP. There was the other one that required Harlander. There's a couple I think that require Harlander, but Harlander are harder to get. And honestly, I'm not that interested in basically having to collect Harlander as well as a third ingredient. It might give more XP though. I haven't really looked into that as like that much. But I'm not sure where the best place to actually get Harlander is. I think it's pretty much random and it's just a rarer. So, and now that we've missed the time to go to sleep, it's going to take a second for all that stuff to do what it needs to do. So let's go ahead and collect a little bit of cabbage and potentially potatoes. We worked on range in this episode a little bit. Now we're working on cooking. Um, so much stuff going on. Obviously, once Valhalla comes to the game, it's going to open up a whole new world. So excited. Can't wait to start diving into it. It's just going to be wild. Farming is going to blow my mind. And we're going to be spending such a large time doing it. And I've already talked a lot about it, so I won't get into it again about basically how we're going to have to get seeds. The thing that makes the most sense to me is gyro packs, goblin packs, and birds' nests. But obviously getting tree seeds and things like that, I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to make us pick all the stuff and it'll sometimes give a chance to give seeds or something like that. Either way, it still works because I've got to get the stuff to do cooking, but that would just be a little bit more time consuming. But what I will say is that hopefully it's not too horrible to actually get the seeds. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. But ultimately, yeah, so I won't be able to basically do as much as I'd like if I've got to find. It's going to be some horrible way to collect it. That's going to really change things quite a bit. It's going to make it difficult to actually collect it all if it just is so time consuming, which would make farming a little bit tricky. The bird's nest thing really makes the most sense to me, and the goblin and gyro packs. Just because even then that would take a considerable amount of time. You'd have to go, if you didn't save any, you'd have to go just basically kill a ton of goblins, gyros, and basically cut down a massive amount of trees to actually acquire all those things. So farming might not be as easy as most people might think. And if I'm wrong about how you get your seeds, then it's just going to be even more grueling. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it. I don't think I really need that rat right now with everything else I'm dealing with right here. I think it's already pretty apparent that it is quite a bit going on. I don't think we really needed all this extra. So, and there's still another group coming. Oh, we could pick these while we're in battle. And a potato, we got to grab that. But 2 potatoes, so we got to grab those. And it looks like they sort of retreated one of them. I'm not sure if he wasn't part of the group attacking my base, or they sort of gave up. I don't know why they would give up. We were sort of looking forward to getting all the goblin packs. Let's take a trip back to our base and sort of see what's going on. All these kebits. Is that them? They're back. Here we go. That was like a headshot. That was awesome. Hit the pole on that one. Ooh, another headshot. Awesome. So here comes the second group, I imagine. Ready to destroy me. And there they are. They're running the other way. So let's go ahead and shoot another one of these. And try to avoid all these nasty goblins. Really cool goblins, actually, though. I think that was another headshot. Was that an archer on my roof? They're on my rooftop. Just trying to annihilate me. Tricky little goblins. Love the hand-to-hand combat though style, where I've sort of got to block, otherwise I'm going to pay for it. Another one down. Let's see if I can get, there we go, headshot. Good job. So let's go ahead and go back and pop another cooking potion, as we don't want to lose all the XP from that. That would be sort of a waste. Let's go run around so that way we actually don't grab all of our stuff without having the cooking potion active. And our inventory is quite full actually. Let's go ahead. There we go. 2200 XP. Not bad at all. So let's see. We're going to have to dump a lot of this stuff in here that's cooked. Let's see. I guess that's all. Let's see. Maybe it'll fill up our inventory. We cannot store it. So I'm guessing our inventory is full. Probably from all those creatures we just ran and killed. Let's see what else we can sort of drop in here. A bunch of nonsense. I think that's everything. There we go. Now we're going to get a bunch more XP. So it looks like most of these are almost done cooking, I would imagine. And we'll put these in there. So we've got quite a bit. We're going to be able to make a bunch of drinks. I don't quite think we're actually going to make the drinks in this episode. We're going to finish up whatever's cooking right here and then probably call it. And the only reason we're going to be doing that is because ultimately I'd like to save a little bit of stuff for another time, and just keep stockpiling all these different things. So let's go in here and grab some more XP. But I think we got quite a bit accomplished in this episode, even though it's not quite over yet. I definitely think we got quite a bit done. I'm going to have to make another chest for these ram horns. Hopefully they find something else we can do with the ram horns eventually, since I don't really have a lot of use for them. And I need to go to sleep soon. 47 out of 100 strength. These files are almost done cooking. Getting a little bit more XP here. Just four left. Love the grills. I think they've got such a cool look. We've got all these fireplaces we're probably going to get rid of here. These fires. Quite cool, really. Our little setup here. Really excited for Fellhallow in the regard of what else I can cook, what I can add to my base, how cool it can look. I'd like to see more statues, things like that. Looks like these all got some sort of stake on them. That's a pretty neat effect right there. Interesting how you don't have to add fuel to them, though. I mean, what keeps them going, I guess? I'm not sure. So cool, really. It might be a little bit, actually. But I imagine any second they're going to stop and run out of resources, right? 24, that's kind of a lot. 19, that's a lot. It's a lot more than I realized. So I guess what I'm going to do, I've got to try to find something to do to sort of get rid of the time it's going to take to do those. We can move some of this stuff. We've got some cabbage that shouldn't be there. Let's go put these in here. These definitely bark. The bark goes in there. Let's go look at our food chests. We've got a ridiculous amount of food. So much. But obviously that's all going to be really important when it comes to Fellhallow. I imagine I'm going to be burning through it. So these are all of our drinks. We've got lots of drinks. What we got going on here. These are all our runes. This is all of our clean water. So much clean water. Scrolls, lore runes. I wonder if I should transfer these runes away from here. I could only hold a little bit. But the reason I wanted to transfer them is because I thought it might be useful to actually eliminate some of the chests over there on the other side that I don't really need anymore. Do I even have water runes? I don't know that I do. I just guess I didn't make a water rune one. Interesting. I don't even think we currently use water runes really in the game all that much. Looks like 41 seconds left on my cooking potion. We've still got quite a bit. So let's see. What can I do really quick? Maybe we could look through here. we could fix these. That's good to repair now rather than wait till later. Not a whole lot. Well, you know what I could do is do that. That kind of looked nice. Let's see, fix that. Oh, I don't know what I did. Oh, all that stuff sort of stopped working. Put our bow back out. It sort of went back in. See, like a lot of these chests I don't really need around. Just sort of looking around at what I've got going on. These fangs, those belong in the Abyssal Demon chest. I don't even know how they got disorganized, but I guess it makes sense. A lot of things get disorganized for me. So much going on. Okay, so our cooking potion has gone, and we want to make sure that's active again. So let's go ahead and do that and pick all this stuff up. We've only got 3 left. There's quite a bit though. 9, 8, and 3. So I guess while we're waiting, we could... Let's see. I wonder what this is. I know that you can click. There we go. I took it off. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. We took those off. Little stuff here and there. And I'm lagged. There we go. We've got 5 left and 6 left. So I guess it's not really that long. Let's go ahead and grab this stuff. We can throw this stuff in a chest really quick. It won't take that long. And our inventory is full. Interesting. So now we're going to be walking really slow. Hopefully I can do something with all this stuff at some point rather than just have it sit in chests. Even though I've talked about it's kind of neat to have it all sit in chests and just look at how much stuff you've acquired. I wish I could take the walls down on this place, but it's too dangerous. Imagine if a goblin army got in there and started swinging their mallets or their maces. We'd have a serious problem. All my stuff would go flying everywhere. And that actually happened at a base I had in the very beginning of the game. Maybe not quite at the very beginning, but that was terrible. I had to actually pick everything up, and it was really, really horrible. So I don't want that to happen again. So let's go ahead and do an XP update right after this last piece of food is done cooking. And then we're going to send you guys on your way. And there'll be another episode tomorrow, as always. So attack 329,000, ranged 67,461, which is primarily what we used a lot in this episode. Woodcutting 1,002,000, construction 2,014,000, runecrafting 991,000, magic 124,000, mining 4,245,000, artisan 4,128,000, and cooking 493,570. So we made quite a stride today in cooking, and that's amazing. So hopefully you guys are enjoying our content. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventures in RuneScape Dragonwilds. And until next time, Legion Nuda out.